Confidence isn't something the world hands out like candy. It's not gifted, it's not taught in school, and it damn sure isn't found in a motivational quote online. Confidence is stolen, taken, ripped from the fire of failure, forged in the furnace of suffering, and sharpened by every rejection you didn't let break you. You think you can fake this? You think standing in front of the mirror repeating affirmations is going to build the kind of confidence that shakes a room when you walk in? No, confidence doesn't start in your voice. It starts in your discipline, in the darkness, in the moments nobody sees when you could have quit, but didn't. Most people are praying for peace. You better learn to make war with yourself. You better learn how to look in the mirror and admit what's weak, what's soft, what's afraid, and then go to war with that version of you. Day after day, you don't become confident by pretending to be a lion. You become confident by training like one. Confidence is born the moment you decide to stop negotiating with your comfort and start demanding more from yourself than anyone else ever could. You want confidence, go earn it. You want to be the kind of person who doesn't flinch under pressure. Then go chase the pressure, stop hiding from the hard things, run straight into them. Confidence doesn't come from winning. It comes from surviving the days you thought would break you. It's built in the silence, when nobody's clapping, when there's no camera, no spotlight, just pain and perseverance. You build it when you show up anyway, when your mind screams no and you move anyway, when fear barks and you walk through the fire anyway. Every time you don't fold, every time you don't quit, every time you push a little further past the line, you steal a piece of confidence back. You think confidence is a feeling. It's not. It's a decision, a choice, a lifestyle. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It's a quiet, unshakable knowing that whatever shows up today, you can handle it because you've handled worse. And if you haven't yet, you will. Confidence comes from building a record with yourself that says, when I say I will, I do. Every time. That's not ego. That's earned respect, self-respect. Confidence isn't something others give you. It's what's left after you've buried weakness, after you've sweat through the doubt, after you've looked failure in the face and smiled. It's built in the grind, in the dirt, in the ugly places where most people fold. You want to know what makes a man dangerous. It's not the noise he makes when he enters a room. It's the silence he conquered to get there. It's not his muscles, not the car, not the money. It's the discipline, the mental discipline to wake up every day and destroy the version of himself that wants to stay soft. That voice that says, take it easy today, you've earned a break, no one's watching that voice. That's the enemy, and every single morning, the dangerous man gets up and kills it, over and over again, ruthlessly, without apology, because he understands something the average man never will. If you're not killing weakness inside of you, then it's killing the edge inside of you. Confidence is not arrogance. It's not walking around pretending to be untouchable. It's being so damn battle-tested that you don't have to prove anything to anyone. But you only get that from suffering on purpose. You only get that from choosing the hard way when the easy road is right in front of you. This world rewards comfort. It teaches people to avoid pain, to medicate failure, to retreat when it gets hard. And the result, empty men, hollow eyes, loud mouths and soft minds, but not you. Not if you want to be different. If you want to be dangerous, you've got to get brutal with your own bullshit. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you discipline. That has to be forged, earned, built in the quiet moments where no one sees you. Where there's no applause, no recognition, just you and the choice, rise or rot. You want to feel confident walking into a room. Then start with how you walk into your own day. You show me a man who hits the snooze button, and I'll show you a man who lies to himself in other places too. But you show me someone who keeps promises to himself, who pushes when it's uncomfortable, who doesn't need motivation to execute. That's someone I know is dangerous. Being confident isn't about what you say. It's about what you've survived. It's about how many versions of yourself you've buried, how many times you've chosen to do the hard thing when nobody would have blamed you for quitting. It's not found in hype. It's found in hurt, in struggle, in choosing pressure on purpose. Because when you do that, when you break yourself down on purpose, you don't fear being broken by anyone else. You become anti-fragile, fireproof, ready for anything, because you've already done to yourself what life could never match. That's how dangerous confidence is built. It's not inherited, it's self-inflicted, relentlessly. Confidence doesn't come from asking for permission. It comes from taking what's yours without waiting for someone to say it's okay. Most people are stuck in neutral because they're waiting for the green light. From their parents, from their friends, from society. They're addicted to approval, to applause, to being accepted. But you don't need permission to be great. You don't need validation to go all in on yourself. You weren't born to fit in. You were born to take ground. The lion doesn't check with the sheep before it hunts. The wolf doesn't ask the forest if it's allowed to survive. That instinct is already in you, but the world's been beating it out of you since day one. The rules they gave you. They were built to control you, not to free you. You want to become dangerous. You stop asking. You start acting. You start deciding the world doesn't owe you clarity. It owes you nothing. Confidence isn't about having all the answers. It's about moving forward anyway. The weak man waits until the path is clear. The dangerous man makes the path by walking. He takes the shot, owns the result, and adapts. That's what separates him. He doesn't wait to feel ready. He understands that confidence is built through execution, not contemplation. While others are thinking, overthinking, talking in circles, he's already 10 steps down the road, bleeding, sweating, learning. Stop playing small so people feel comfortable. Stop dimming your light because it blinds cowards. You were not put here to shrink yourself into a version of you that makes others feel safe. Confidence is claiming your space with no apology. It's standing your ground when the world pushes back and saying, "I'm not going anywhere." But to do that, you have to believe you belong at the table before anyone else tells you that you do. You have to move like you've already earned it, because you're willing to do what others won't. Every time you ask for permission, you hand your power to someone else. You reinforce the belief that your value depends on their approval. But the truth is, the world respects the man who moves without needing praise. The man who builds in silence. The man who leads, not because he's the loudest, but because he's the most disciplined. Confidence isn't just a trait, it's a weapon, and you sharpen it every time you act without permission, every time you bet on yourself without a guarantee, every time you show up when there's no applause. Confidence doesn't ask, "Will they accept me?" It declares, "They'll remember me." The world is not fair, and the game is not honest. If you don't control the frame, you will be framed. That's the truth they never taught you. They told you to be good, to be kind, to explain yourself when someone misunderstands you. They trained you to think that if you're just honest enough, polite enough, patient enough, the world will see your heart and treat you right. But life isn't a courtroom, and you're not here to argue your innocence. You're here to dominate the frame, to decide how you're seen, what you're known for, and how much power your presence demands. And you don't do that by playing defense. You do that by seizing control of how you show up and refusing to let anyone else write your story. Weak people want fairness, warriors want leverage. The man who understands the frame never defends himself because he knows the moment he does, he's already lost control. When someone accuses you, mocks you, doubts you, their goal isn't truth, it's power. And if you respond the way they expect, with explanations and apologies and desperation to be understood, you're playing into their hands. But when you stay composed, when you speak on your terms, when you dictate the pace of the conversation, you flip the entire dynamic. You put them on edge, you become unpredictable, you become dangerous. Confidence isn't just about how you feel, it's about what others feel when they're around you. And that's all about frame. Frame is the unspoken rule of the room. It's who sets the tone, who others respond to, who controls the flow. And if you don't own that, someone else will. You cannot afford to let people drag you into their emotional chaos. You cannot afford to let their weakness dictate your reactions. When you control the frame, you control the room. You decide what matters, what gets attention, what gets ignored. That's power, that's influence. Stop explaining, start asserting, stop trying to win people over. Start moving like you've already won. You don't need to convince the world of anything. Let your presence speak for itself. Let your standards speak. Let your execution speak. When you walk into a space, don't shrink to fit it. Expand to own it. Be the person who doesn't need to raise their voice to command attention. Be the one who's so sure of who they are that nothing shakes them. That's how you control the frame. You don't beg for respect. You demand it without saying a word. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to build something too powerful to be ignored. And you do that by keeping your power close and your presence louder than any defense ever could be. You want to be confident. Then stop being predictable. Stop being easy to read. Stop living your life on a script that everyone else wrote for you. Dangerous confidence doesn't come from fitting in. It comes from becoming the outlier, the anomaly, the man nobody can figure out. Predictability is the enemy of power. When people know what you'll do, what you'll say, how you'll react, they can control you. They can manipulate you. But when you become unpredictable, when your next move is yours and yours alone, they start to second guess themselves. They watch what they say around you. They adjust their tone. That's what power looks like. You've been taught to be consistent, not calculated. There's a difference. Consistency is about showing up. Calculated is about knowing when to strike and when to vanish. You don't need to be everywhere, every time. You need to be unforgettable when it matters. People respect mystery. They fear what they don't understand. If you always explain yourself, always speak first, always make yourself available, then you're easy to label, easy to manage, easy to dismiss. But when you hold your silence, when you move with strategy, when you choose your moments like a lion waiting in the grass, suddenly the room shifts when you enter. Because now you've become a variable, you've become a question mark in a world full of answers. Don't let your enemies study your rhythm. Don't give them the pattern, keep them guessing. One day you're silent, the next you speak and shake the whole damn room. One day you're humble, the next you're unapologetically dominant. That duality is what builds power. That contrast is what leaves a mark, because now no one knows which version of you they're going to get. That's how you stay untouchable. That's how you stay dangerous. Confidence is amplified when it's unexpected. When you speak less but every word hits like a bullet. When you move without warning and every step flips the whole situation. Most people live their lives trying to be liked, but you're not here to be liked. You're here to be respected. You're here to become the one people don't play games with, the one they prepare for, the one who doesn't chase but attracts. That kind of confidence isn't built by following the herd. It's built by learning how to lead without needing followers. There's power in not being fully known. There's strength in not being predictable. The man who can't be anticipated can't be controlled. The one who walks in silence builds fear in noise. Don't make the mistake of trying to be understood by everyone. Stay rare, stay calculated. Let your unpredictability become your armor. Let it keep your power protected. Because the moment they can read you, they can reach you. But when you stay fluid, stay sharp, stay just out of reach, you become more than confident. You become untouchable. Confidence isn't found in comfort. It's not inherited, gifted, or requested. It's forged in silence, in pain, in war with your weaker self. The dangerously confident man doesn't need applause, doesn't beg for permission, and sure as hell doesn't explain himself. He moves when others freeze, speaks when it matters, and disappears when it's time to sharpen the blade. He controls the frame, owns the room, and keeps his power close. That kind of confidence doesn't come from talking. It comes from execution, from doing what others won't, from being willing to suffer now so no one can touch you later. That man, he doesn't chase validation. He becomes the standard. While the world plays by the rules, he rewrites them with blood, with discipline, with a presence that speaks louder than words ever could.